afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this edition of Follow Suit Fashion Unfiltered. And for all my first-time viewers, I'm going to give you a brief synopsis of what Follow Suit is all about. The name Follow Suit is a mantra, meaning to follow the suit. And as you follow the suit, you're going to come to realize that the suit is a role model and a mentor whose purpose is to give guidance to the young men of this community as well as to society. And it is my job to honor and salute some of those who not only put on the suit, but they also wear the suit well. Hence the point, my guest today, Will Dickerson. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Man, it's my pleasure to bring you up on the show, man. I know you got a busy schedule and all the stuff that you do. So I'm glad you could take time out and come on the show. You know, and off camera, we've been doing a lot of talking. I've been learning a lot more about you, you know, because we come from two different eras, and it's great, all the stuff that I'm hearing. So, you know, the show's called Follow Suit Fashion. We're going to start off with a little fashion. I know a little bit about your background, so I know you came up amongst some shop dresses.
Right.
So, who would inspire you with your fashion of those shop dresses?
Growing up, you know, when you're talking suit, you know, you're talking ties, shoes. My dad, you know, I would look in his closet, look at his things, just look at different suits and how he put it together at a young age, and you know, that was just like kind of like a blueprint. First and foremost, you know, looking at him, and then you know, seeing other individuals in the community, whether it was jeans with a blazer, jeans and turtleneck, you know, because I know that wasn't like a very popular look, you know. So this watching overall the different landscapes and this being very intrigued by the suit game and fashion in general.
Well, yeah. So around what age you think it was when you decided you wanted to go shopping and get shop on your own with your own money?
On my own, I would say my 17, it was high school. You know, you're dating, you're in high school, you know, you want to get shop. So it's like, you know, let's go to the mall, try to look for something. At that time, I might have just got something that was already pointed out by my mother because she loves fashion, or my dad, something that was pointed out. You know, so that, but just on my own, 21, I was, it's a funny story. So 21, I'm in Atlanta, All-Star Weekend, Atlanta. And they made an announcement on radio. They don't care who you are, you can't attend any parties if you're not dressed. If you're not dressed. They said it was the NBA Players Association party. You can't get into this party if you're not dressed. So everyone's like, you know, you got to go get some clothes. So I called my dad, like, where should I go? So he gave me a store to go to in Atlanta, and it was Bright Creations. That was the name of the store. I never forget. I went in there. They was able to, you know, it had so many things in there. So I was able to point out something. I said, you know, I want that right there. I think it was like it was a blue suit, you know. So I was able to put it together, and I was proud. When they put it in the, told me what time to come back and pick it up. They put it in the garment bag, throw it over my shoulder. You couldn't tell me nothing because that right there, that was me on my own. Picked my suit out and you know, walked out the store, and you know, that was it.
That's like a feeling. Some people don't know that. They never done it. They're not into fashion, but I know that feeling. You get that suit, man, especially that first one. You go and get it on your own. I can understand where that's coming from.
Yeah, I walked into the hotel lobby. You couldn't tell me nothing. You'd have thought I owned the hotel. I had that thing on my shoulder. You know, let me through. Get out of my way. You know, so it's definitely a great feeling.
So are you into shoes?
Yes, I'm into shoes. You know, with the shoes, I like slip-on shoes. Now, as you get older, it's comfort. You know, want something very comfortable. But like, you know, slip-ons, tie-ups. You know, but I like shoes also.
Okay. Yeah, I always ask most of my guests when it comes to the tie. When did you tie your first tie? Who taught you how to tie the tie?
My first tie, My first time tying a tie was on my own, my freshman year of high school. Went to a Catholic school, old Cambridge Catholic. I didn't want to have detention. If you don't have your tie, if your tie's not up to your, you know, up to, you know, you will get written up for, and you won't know until the end of the day, till the day's out, you won't know. So that was something that forced me. I'm like, get it down, because I don't want any problems. I don't want any detention, So I just kept, working at it. At first, you just get that little round, little knot, and you're like, you know what? I'm fine with that. And you're like, nah, I want to get better at it. You keep working and working.
Yeah, today they got YouTube for the people, man.
Right.
I wish they had it back then,
Right. When I was younger, what I used to do, and I'm sure many others have this story to tell, my dad would tie my tie, and what I would do is, whatever event it was, and I got back home, I would take it off my neck, but I would make sure that it doesn't mess up. So I keep the knot and I hang it in my closet. But then, after a while, you have to learn on your own.
Yeah. So I cheat. I gotta hang with about 30 pre-ties.
Pre-tie, yeah.
So I know that trick.
Sometimes it's the way to go, especially if someone know how to put together that perfect knot. You're like, you know what, that's perfect. I need it. So.
Okay, so we talked a little fashion. We're gonna spin forward. Like I said, the show is Follow Suit Fashion Unfiltered. It's about saluting and honoring people who do work in the community, especially those who work with the youth.
Right.
And you're a young man, and you work with the youth, but you also was at one time a young man. So we're gonna start when you was a young man. Some of the programs that you might have did and things that inspired you that you think helped you to get to where you are.
Wow.
And some of the mentors and stuff that was there in your life.
Right. Well, the Tobin Community Center, Ron Bell, that was that tough love back then. Yeah. That real tough love where if you're not doing right, go run. Go run until I tell you to stop. But it was, that tough love of showing accountability, showing you what it takes to be a leader, whether it's on the basketball court, in the classroom, or in the community. So it was like that right there, that Tobin Community Center, everyone that worked there at the time, the list goes on, Ron Bell, John Jackson, it was, long list of Dorian, Charles Davis, everyone called Chuck, but it was folks that held you accountable. And that was that community center model. You seen black men, and they were able to hold you accountable. Like, regardless of who my dad was, my dad knew when I walked in those doors, I couldn't come back to him and say, hey, this one yelled at me. He would say, so what? Go back in there, So it was, it was that love, that support, and that guidance that we got from the community overall, So that was that Tobin Community Center helped me.
So then you went from being one of those youths to actually doing the same type of work with young men as well?
Yes. So there, being there, it prepares you also. So you have the opportunity to be a peer leader. So you're a young youth, but you're a peer leader. So it forces you to, you have younger people in the community looking up to you. So, that caused me to want to dive into, as I got older, being a mentor and, being that mentor, that coach for those in the community.
Okay. So you did that. You was a mentor and coach.
Yep, I did that.
I can tell you must have did a good job. So hopefully there's some young men now that I can run into and say, hey, Will Dickerson? Oh, man, they're going to give me the same spill as you gave about some of the mentors that you came up underneath.
Yeah, for sure. I know just talking with, recently talking with Will Blaylock. He said, man, some of the things that you, mentioned over the years, and, he said a lot of times I said, man, I don't want to hear that. And he'll hop on his bike, and wheelie somewhere, and, some of those things you don't really, you don't really kind of like adhere to it until you get older, and you like, you know what? that was right back then, But when we're young, we're just having fun, living in the moment, not thinking ahead, And when you're young, you enter in high school, those 4 years it goes by so fast. And before you know it, you're like, out the door. Now it's the real world. You going to college or, or you got to get a job somewhere, So things change dramatically. So those mentors are important, and being a mentor helped me to. The people that might say thank you for mentoring me and helping me over the years, I have to in turn tell them thank you, because they held me accountable, whether they know it or not, So,
right. So you have for a young man, you got a lot. You got a nice resume going for yourself as a young man. So we're gonna talk a little bit because we talked off camera. So you have a connection with the NBA.
Right.
So let's talk a little bit about that connection. Then we're gonna share a story that you said that we was talking about off camera.
Right. So my connection with the NBA actually started, and I'm the type of person, I get props and salute those that open different doors for me in life. And one of those individuals, Wayne Turner. Wayne got drafted, not drafted, but he came through the Summer League, and the Celtics signed him. I was always very, very supportive of Wayne. And from that, a lot of his teammates at the time, the Celtic teammates, they, a lot of those guys took a liking to me, whether Antoine, Walt McCarty, all those guys. Some guys I already knew, but the connection grew from my connection with Wayne. And, Wayne just knew I was good people's, good dude. And I knew a lot of the folks in the city of Boston, whether it's in our neighborhoods and also downtown, that whether they own nightclubs, restaurants, I knew, and I wanted to be a bridge builder and connecting those individuals. So he opened up that door and made sure he gave that stamp of approval of, this is my guy, he's a good dude. And then from there, I was able to build that brotherhood, which still exists today, with Antoine Walker and working for his organization, and being able to, like we talked about earlier, being able to reach out to young men in our community and bring them to his camp in the summertime and show them something different, and bring young men and women from different parts of Roxbury, Dorchester, Mattapan, South End, bring them all together.
Right. So it was like a combination of you're in there doing that, but at the same time your mentoring skills and all that like played a part into it, and you was bringing young men and showing them something different at the same time. Right.
Because I think us as individuals, we're more visual, so we need someone at the time to show us like a vision, show us a path. Like, you could talk about it, but show me a path. So it's like seeing kids from our neighborhoods being able to get exposed to that camp was remarkable. Seeing a kid from, whether he was a kid from Orchard Park or a kid from Academies or a kid from Mission, being able to get on that bus and go out there to that camp. And I had hard conversations with those kids at a young age, and I'm like, man, they might say my neighborhood don't like him, his neighborhood, and I might ask the question, why? That was my question to them, why? I don't know. So before you know it, that kid that said that, now they're on a court on the same team. Now they communicate. Now they high five, and now they're hugging each other. So I think the biggest part of that was taking a lot of these kids out of their comfort zones, out of different environments, and showing them something different. So that right there is was very enjoyable, just watching everything like that play out.
Right. So I know the rest of the story we ain't gonna tell. You say about the famous kid who got in trouble. We're gonna leave that out. So,
but nah, he know he used to give everyone, it's a lot of kids went through that camp and that program. So you had Tony Lee, you had Anthony Gurley, so you had like Shabazz when he was little. So you had his brother Timmy. So it was a mixture of kids going through that camp, and then I always looked at brothers in our community like Tony Richards, like T. Rich, they just have a passion for trying to help the next generation, for trying to help youth in our city. So things like that just fueled that fire within me,
Yeah, so that fire, we're going to talk about that. So I'm getting the sense that fire that's fueled in you is leading you to what you're doing now and what you're aspiring to become.
Right.
So that's, you're running for elective office, right?
Yes, I'm a candidate for Boston City Council, District 4. District 4 currently is represented by City Councilor Andrea Campbell, who's running for mayor of Boston. So that district is Dorchester, half of Mattapan, it's a piece of Rosendale. But we will never forget Rosendale, those that live on District 4 that live in Rosendale. So I always make that a point to mention Rosendale. Right. So it's something I'm very passionate about, very serious about the work in hand. And I just know my vision for the district and for the whole city as a whole is something that's very remarkable. Granted, some things I can't share all at once, right. But like with my platform to come out addressing public safety, and instead of just having a city plan, have a district plan, safety issues. And I'm a bridge builder and collaborator, so I want to collaborate with those and bring those to the table that have those lived experiences. I think many times we look past brothers and sisters in our community that been through the struggle, that could tell the story, that could say, hey, I know how to help get this done. Sometimes we look past those individuals and we pull in the same individuals over and over and again, or we pull in individuals that don't even really call Boston home. We pull them in. So I want to bring everyone to the table on the district level and being able to connect those individuals, and I want to learn from them. Some things that, I won't have all the answers to, so I want to learn from them and empower them to speak up on certain issues. And at the end of the day, it's not about me, it's not about the next person, it's about having our community in good hands, having our community and having a better roadmap for our young people.
Yeah, definitely. It's great to see that you come straight from that, from step by step as a young man. And then the same thing that was instilled in you, you turned it around and tried to instill it into those young men, and it's propelled you to where you're going now. And right. I think you're going to be successful in it. And, I support you and I salute you. So you want to give the people your last bill, because we're going to talk Will Dickerson for District 4 City Councilor. Right. So let them know what you got planned for them. Okay. If you get that position, and when they can come out and vote and all the good stuff.
Definitely. Like I said, I'm grateful for this opportunity, for every opportunity I get to connect with everyone. So it's Will Dickerson, Boston City Council candidate for District 4, lifelong resident of Boston, lifelong resident of the district, worked hard on the district for many years, worked hard in various areas, whether it's connecting with our seniors, faith-based initiatives, our youth programming. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. I tell folks all the time, win, lose, or draw, I'm not going anywhere. I'm in it to fight hard for our community, fight hard for those that many overlook and take for granted. 4 has the lowest voting turnout in the city of Boston. And one of the reasons is people are just, I would say they feel others don't care for them, care about them. You know, so I want to feeling encouraged and feeling engaged on being civically engaged and getting out there. And it's a proud moment for those that never voted before, that cast a ballot and say, I voted this time. So I want to change that narrative. I want those numbers, those voting numbers, to increase dramatically. So I'm going to work hard for the community. I want everyone to hold me accountable. You know, that accountability is something that I live by every day. We all should strive to hold each other accountable. So that's going to be like my, you know, if I'm blessed and fortunate to be the next District 4 Boston City Councilor, that's going to be what I instill in our office, my staffers, accountability across the board, and really responding to the needs of the people. So election day is it's upon us. It's coming faster and faster each day. Right. And I can't believe we're actually at this point, and we're about 6.5 weeks out. Election day is Tuesday, September 14th. And once again, I'm Will Dickerson. I humbly ask for your support, your prayers, and your vote on Tuesday, September 14th. You can reach me on all social platforms. Is Will for District 4.com on a website, and it's all the other social platforms is Will for District 4. So you know that's you know, I'm very passionate about the work and looking forward to election day.
Yes, I can see it. I can feel it. You know, I appreciate you. And like I said, I'm bringing people up here to salute them and honor them. And like I said, you've done the work. You was once at that point till you was the point of giving back, and you're still giving back. And this is also a great example for a young man that anything's possible. Reach for your goal. Reach for the stars, you know. And I appreciate you. I salute you, and keep up the great work. And thank you for being on my show.
I salute you, and thank you for having me.
All right. That's it for this edition of Follow Suit Fashion Unfiltered. It's a wrap.